Well, a Thursday morning means a visit with the Titusville Redevelopment Authority in our Taking Care of Business segment. Good morning, Deb. How are you?
I'm great, Luke. How are you?
Great. Who'd you bring in this morning?
Well, we're fortunate to have with us today Lex Shingledecker. She is the Director of Sales at Checkers, which most people here know as Alternamats, but have now become a part of Checkers, and it's a wonderful thing. And she's here to tell us all about the crazy life she leads in sales.
Well, excellent. Good morning, Lex. How are you?
Good morning. Very well. How about yourself?
Great. Before we get into things, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Again, my name is Lex Shingledecker. I've been part of Alternamats for about 5.5 years. I live in the Franklin area, been there my whole life, so now it's a pretty easy commute to Titusville. Glad to be a part of the Alternamats and Checkers family.
Talk about the relationship and the history of merging together.
I can do that. I'll back up just a brief bit, tell you that Alternamats is a product that was invented in this area. It was invented in Franklin, and it's been manufactured here in Titusville for about 20 years. So it's been a product, a staple of Titusville that is you may or may not be aware of. So it's a product that's made from recycled HDPE plastic, and we sell them all over the world. So it's really an interesting story to hear something that was invented here regionally, still manufactured locally, and has a big distribution area. About a year ago, Checkers acquired Alternamats. Alternamats was at a point to where we really needed to grow and needed some help to do that. It's been a wonderful transition to partner with a company like Checkers. They're a very ground-oriented business. When you look at the morals of the company and some of the things that they do, it really was a nice combination for both of us. We just had sent a crew to Haiti to do some mission work there, and that's the mentality of what the Checkers family is, and in fact, more than that, it was 2 crews because there were so many volunteers. We actually sent 2 teams for 10 days each, and that's some of the things that really make this company, above and beyond the products, a good fit for the Alternamats team and the people here from Titusville. We just put in some new equipment, so we're able to increase our capacity. So we're very, very pleased about that. It's really been a fun road.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about the product.
Yeah.
What's the thing that's been going on here that some people know about, but a lot of people don't? Yeah.
So what's manufactured here in Titusville is the 1/2-inch thick HDPE ground protection mats. They're used for 2 reasons. One is going to be turf protection, to where if you are a landscaper or a tree trimmer, you need to get through someone's yard. You don't want to destroy their yard, especially this time of year. It's mud season, right? So it's really, you're going to destroy the yard. So you put the mats down, and now you're going to protect your customer's turf and leave it very nice, just the same as it was before you were there. In that aspect, if you don't use the ground protection and you are going to compact that soil compaction is going to lead to erosion. So you're really doing the environment justice by utilizing the product as well. And conversely, then you're also doing, or additionally rather, you're going to protect the root system. So sometimes it's just grass root, but sometimes it's that 100-year-old oak tree that your granddad planted. So by using the product, it's going to disperse the weight. The other aspect of it is for temporary access roads. So in areas that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get into, so like a new construction area, to areas where you need to get a road that you couldn't get your equipment in. Now you can get your equipment in and it'd be more productive.
Is this something that perhaps drilling companies would use too at a well pad site?
A little bit. For the well pad site, it's really going to be a little bit for the access roads. But the nice thing about the Checkers company is that we've actually have joined with a few other companies since Alternamats, and some of those companies bring very big, heavy mats. So we actually have some mats now that are designed specifically for the drill rigs, not just the access roads to the pad, but for the pad itself. So we're real excited about having those products at our access.
It sounds like an exciting time for you.
It is very exciting. It's been very busy, and it's been a lot of fun. It's definitely been nothing short of an education, and it's been great.
Wow. And in the past, we've seen pictures of the products in use, and it's just a variety of places. There's been some really cool places that the mats. Can you talk about some of those locations or some of those places?
Sure. One of the most interesting ones, I think, is they've been on a beach in Australia for their Ironman contest, so they had to have the giant scoreboard so the swimmers that are 2 miles out can look up at this giant scoreboard and see what their times are and see where they're at. And so they had to get the mats out to the beach there. And then speaking of beaches, just up in Erie, we've done a couple of concerts up there. We've provided mats to get the staging in. There was a Crosby, Stills and Nash concert a couple of years ago, so they used our product to get everything in for that. So even used locally. Gosh, it's in such a wide
Have I seen them
variety.
used like at the Statue of Liberty?
They've been at the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
They've been at in Washington, D.C. There's some nice pictures of them being used down there as well.
Wow.
So anywhere that you have equipment outside, there's a need for the product. So it's very diverse.
So I'm always interested in how somebody just wakes up one day and says, I'm going to start a business and this is what it's going to be. What was that thought? Was it somebody in that line of work or somebody who was doing something outside of that and noticed a need for something like this?
It was someone who noticed a need. So Jim Aaron was the inventor of the product. He was based out of Franklin. I believe that Jim was a purchasing agent for Penelec and was buying sheets of plywood for his team, his utility team, to get off of the road into people's yards. And plywood seems to be what everybody thinks of. It's really our main competitor is plywood, but when you think about it, it breaks very easily, it absorbs water, it's brittle, it delaminates.
It makes a mess.
It makes a mess.
Yeah.
You're trying to get a building material to do something that, quite frankly, it couldn't. And Jim said, there's got to be a better way. Down to his garage he went and started to do a bunch of, making molds and thinking about what products he could use. He did a lot of research in it, and he and his family, he and his wife and his son, sat down at the table and came up with the name Alternamats, and shortly thereafter, there they were. I mean, it was just it was out of a need. And even today, our biggest competitor still remains plywood. That's the market that we really are trying to educate people that there's a better product out there.
So when it comes to expanding the product, growing the business, there's still a lot of opportunities out there.
There's a lot of opportunities, and after 20 years, you almost start to think, well, we have to be near saturation at some point, and you're really not. There's a lot of people that every time we go to a trade show and it's, I wish I would have known about this 20 years ago. And, yeah, we wish you would have too, because it's a product that really we need to spend more time educating people, and that's certainly one of our focuses.
So how many people are employed?
Here in Titusville?
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know that answer
About
anymore.
80.
About
80.
80. Yeah, 80, yes.
Wow. And then you said Franklin is where you're out of, or you're from Franklin?
I'm just from Franklin.
Okay.
I live in Franklin. But I'm based here out of the Titusville location.
So 80 employees. That's incredible. And I'm sure they come from the region.
They do come from the region. There's just like with the oil and gas, everything takes a little bit of hit from time to time, and so we certainly have seen a little bit of a downturn, and have had to make changes accordingly. But we're starting to see that come back up. So we're anxious to get into really the full line of spraying and be able to pick up production. But we've a couple of the companies that have acquired since Alternamats also have similar products. We're going to be bringing that manufacturing in house in Titusville as well, so that'll open up the opportunity for some more.
Oh, that's
positions
incredible. So when it comes to looking for people to join the workforce, what kind of people do you look for?
We look for people that are motivated and want to come into work. It's
that scratches Mark and I off the list.
it's not necessarily it's hard work, and it can be hot in the summer times, but it's very rewarding, and it's a company that's very easy to work for. They really care about their employees and want to make sure that they're doing the right things by everybody, and it's. I guess I can't say enough about it. It's been a wonderful experience for me, and it's been fun to watch it grow.
Are there skill sets that you're looking for? And the reason I asked that is I was looking at a copy of Handyman magazine yesterday, and there was a quiz in there.
Again, we don't work around here.
There was a quiz in there about what your handyman knowledge was, or how good a handyman you were. I flunked. So what kind of skill sets does somebody need to bring to the table? I mean, I'm not the guy you would want doing drywall in your place.
Right. Well, it's not a real technical production area. We can help train anybody to do it. The biggest thing is just to have somebody motivated to come into work every day.
Wow.
So it's not a difficult product to make, and we can help you out with that.
And Deb and Jim say this all the time, and I think there's a lot of people who say, "Oh, that's ridiculous." People that don't want to work hard, or flunk a math test or a drug test. But the reality is, you see that. You see it. So, Deb, again, when you're talking with high school kids or college kids around here, because you go to the high school, you go to the University of Pitt and other universities around here, what do you say to these folks?
The soft skills is an issue everywhere. It's not just here. It's a huge issue. We encourage them to, and the school district does as well, to learn at a young age to come to school regularly, to be on time, that's important, to strive to have good grades. We are really focusing on that age group to help to mold them into being better employees once they get to this stage. And I was just going to mention also, the entry-level positions are what we were talking about, but there's some very highly technical positions to go with this job, this company, the accounting, the
Engineers.
HR, the engineers. I mean, they work with many of our resource partners to develop their product and to increase their product. There's constant construction going on down there.
Yeah.
There's some gigantic new silos now to keep their product and to better manage, I think, and control costs for raw materials. So all of that, cost and accounting and processing and scheduling and shift work, there's the good thing about Checkers, Alternamats, whatever you want to call them, is that once you're there, they treat you very well, and there's great opportunity for growth within that company and to stay here, which is what we like to see. We like to see those people come here and stay here, raise their families here, and be part of our community, and it's a great opportunity to do that.
It sounds like when you guys took over, it would have been a good point to say, hey, let's move the business somewhere else. But you stayed.
When Checkers?
Correct.
Yeah. And, that isn't the mentality at Checkers. The combination of our companies isn't to tear anything down. It's just the exact opposite. It's to build it up. So they're look at a product and a company like what Alternamats has and really wants to just expand upon that. And, we do have a great team. We have wonderful people that are there from the production base the whole way through the whole organization. And so it really was to help us grow, not to break it down and tear it apart. And so the manufacturing will stay here in Titusville. We've been producing an excellent high quality product for years, and it doesn't make sense to disrupt that.
Well, it sounds like you have more to gain by staying here and not moving too.
Yeah, it's we have an educated workforce, and it's a great location, and we're proud to be here.
It is 8:22. This is the Morning Drill on Stream Television, Armstrong, and the Allegheny News Talk Sports Network. Well, what's next for you guys? What's in the hopper? What do you have going on the rest of this year, or what's the 5-year, 10-year outlook?
Boy, 5 year, 10 years, hard to say at this point. I know this year we're really now just focusing on trying to get everybody moving forward. So we think we had 9 acquisitions in the last year. Nice. So we've added a lot of new products, everything ground oriented, even from parking curbs and speed humps, speed bumps, indoor anti-fatigue matting, anti-static matting if you're working on electronics. So we really are very focused on the ground. Checkers.
So you're a little upset with our floor.
Well, you could use a little maybe custom logo mat, or we'll get something fixed up.
Talk to him.
Cable protectors is really what you need. I see all these, and that's
don't look over here.
That's a mess. That's one of the
turn that camera around.
I should.
That's one of the core products at Checkers is cable protectors.
But it's a specialty of our house.
Well, it's about safety. Yeah. It's about being safe in every way. Yes.
Again, with growing the product, it sounds like every day maybe there's new challenges. Every day is a little different for you. That's got to be fun, coming in and not doing the exact same thing every day. That's
the best part about it. I really enjoy my job. I get to travel and get to meet new people, and like you said, every day is new. So it makes it a lot of fun.
Now, last time we were through there, I think we did some video where we shot some things just looking at how much pressure the mats can take. And, I mean, it was blowing the competition away.
Yeah.
How often are you conducting those tests? Are you always pretty, secure with knowing what you have, or are you always trying to push the boundaries?
Always trying to push it. I mean, we're very proud of the product that we make, but we want to make sure that it's still cutting edge. Even though there's not a lot of rocket science, as they say, behind it, we still want to make sure that it's a viable product and a product that the consumer wants. So we're constantly doing tests, if not on a daily basis, at least on a weekly basis.
Wow.
And trying to make sure that we're doing physical tests on the products.
So it's not like once a year or once every 6 months.
No.
You're doing it constantly.
Yes.
That's incredible. So are you guys just trying to push the limits for yourselves, or are you looking at what others have out there and saying, okay, we need to maintain our lead over these other guys?
Well, we certainly want to retain ourselves as the leader, but the nice thing is that now that we have all these other products, that we're doing some testing on them as well and trying to pull everything together. It's actually been a really easy transition considering how big that we've gotten in the last year, and have more tools in the tool bag, as we like to say, to offer to all of our customers as well.
Are the engineers the ones sort of pushing you, or do you hear from your customers who say, boy, we want to drive this onto it? Will it hold?
Yes.
Yes. All of the above.
Yes and yes. So it's from all aspects. So
have you ever had this on a Mac?
Those are some of the funnest phone calls when, I'd like to do this. What do you think? Oh, I never thought about that. I think it'll work. So it is driven by the end user. It's driven by our market research tells us. It's driven by the engineers. It's driven by everybody really collectively. So we want to make sure that we get a product that has a use in the market, because otherwise you're just going to be spinning your wheels and wasting your time.
So do you look then to, here are the products we have. This is what we have. Or if somebody calls and says, I need this, and it's sort of in between the products that you have, or something maybe that's a little bit more, do you guys custom make those things for customers?
We definitely have some customization means, but we don't do a lot of customizing on the Alternamats products. But some of the other products that we have, especially we talked about the cable protectors for a moment, we can do custom colors, custom logos. We can do lots of things with a variety of our products to meet that need. If you're talking about actually developing a new product in between, we would want to do our research and make sure that it's something that, one, is going to be a good product if we bring it out, and two, that there's going to be a market for it. But we do that all the time. That's how you learn and grow your business, is by a new product that didn't know there was a need for, but it has presented itself to you. So we are always interested in hearing that.
But it sounds like you have things covered pretty much, so to speak, where if somebody does call, you have something already to go for them.
We do.
So I guess, and again, I hate these questions because there's so many what ifs, and
all right.
But somebody calls you up and they need, let's say, I don't know what a medium-sized order would be, or how much space would be needed. I mean, how long does it take for them to get the product usually?
Well, yeah, right now, if somebody called in with a medium-sized order, it would probably take them about a week. But we have product on hand, and so it's in stock. Have been working really hard to get to that point. So by the time that they placed the order got entered. The order got banded up on the dock and got put on the truck is only a day or so, and then by then it's just transit time. So it depends. If it's just going to Erie, that's one thing. If it's going to go to California, or Australia, that's something else. So
is that a custom check?
Yeah.
And all those parts that go with it, understanding all of the export piece. They are an outstanding export company, and one that's been acknowledged by the state in the past, and it's nice to have that excellent customer service product base here in Titusville.
So how much traveling do you do yearly?
I've been doing quite a bit, but it'll start to settle down a little bit. That's the nice thing is, I have access to my sales responsibilities are not just the Alternamats, although I'll still be the Alternamats kind of product specialist, if you will. But I'm selling a wide variety of products. So I have a nice little area that I'm responsible for, but also helping out the rest of the team. So if anybody has a need with matting, that's kind of where I've been. So once it's actually right about now, I just was telling Deb my schedule is starting to slow down a little bit, so I'll be home for a while.
Deb, when you look at a company like Checkers, you guys must smile to know that here's another great success, another great business right here in the community.
That's the reason for this show. They're taking care of business here.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay, I'll have to change what you wrote down.
Here, and we're so proud of them. again, no one knows what goes on in those big buildings in the industrial park or throughout the town, and they have 100,000 square feet there, and a lot goes on there. It's a huge building, and it's filled with employees and machinery and equipment and new products, and it does make us very proud to have them here in our community giving back. They're a wonderful community partner and support things, and there's a lot of times these mats get placed at festivals and places like that that no one really even knows about. It's just a phone call and away they go. So, when you're at the park and you're at Oil Festival and you're walking on things like this, you'll know where they came from, and it makes you smile.
Well, this was a fast segment and very educational for us. Congratulations on everything going on down there.
Thank you.
If somebody's looking for a job, can they come down and fill out an application?
Yes.
Certainly. Yeah, we'd be pleased to have them.
All right. Lex, thanks for stopping in this morning.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Please come back and keep us updated on what's going on.
I'll do that.
Deb,
Thanks.
great to see you as always.
Thanks. Glad to be here. Glad to be proud of our businesses.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes, you will.
All
Thanks.
right. Maybe lunch sometime.
Maybe.
Maybe.
You keep promising.
We'll do that.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Thanks, guys. Final look at news coming up next.
People pushing, people shoving, and the girls who try to